Alright, so really quickly, I want to talk about Saturn, Mecca, circle, square, triangle, the cult of Saturn, and how these things are just easily put into our daily life and why there was a cult around Saturn. Okay, so the human body is an instrument and it has a specific shape, just like any body does. And circle, square, triangle creates this movement of the universe. And it's a combination of it's a combination of the outer planets and how they make this gaseous, airy twist together and then filter it through Jupiter to the inner planets. So there's Saturn is also the first planet that it has stone, if I'm not mistaken, after Uranus and Neptune, and Pluto's like an icy gas. Like, I don't know for sure what the elements of every planet are, but that's not the point right now. The point is that there creates this structure, and when you put circle, square, triangle together, it creates like a honeycomb structure, an octagon, hexagon, depending on how many twists there are, I guess. And I think that's kind of actually where Pluto comes in. Bear with me. So having the square like there is at Mecca, there is an energy created when there's movement around that structure. Just like there's energy created around statues that have been built and energy created within churches. And churches have different roof shapes and inner shapings depending on the time period, obviously, but also it's to get prayer to rise in a specific structured way and then expand that dimensional geometric shape into another form. Not in another universe, not in another dimension. It's just like, it's already just an energy. It's not going to turn into something that's not what it already is. But energy moves, and energy's in the wind and air and water and everything. So it's like when you walk into different homes, whether it smells good or bad, that's an opinion, but everybody's home has a different scent, just like why animals smell each other to kind of see if they're familiar scents or not. So when you have a group of people go to the same church, it creates that specific prayer pattern. So having a basic structure such as a square purifies the prayer in a way where it's more open, and that openness, first of all, draws energy into itself, but then the people that welcome doing so transform that energy. And if you kind of think about it, black absorbs light and white reflects light, and there's different color patterns. Like even in Catholicism, nuns wear the black, and then popes and priests wear the white. So let me get into Saturn now really quick. I just really want to walk outside for some reason. I don't know why.
Guys, stay
Alright. I don't know. I just really wanted to do that. Okay, so that's just kind of like a simple form of it. The sun dried out my hair super fast, so it's all frizzy. Also, whatever, I can just delete that other video. Anyway, so you have like an obelisk, right? And it takes the square and then points it up into an upward energy, and this has been placed around the world. And I think it's like taking the point away from the cube and putting individual responsibility into each vessel. So that's why it's like churches can have different vibes. Some can feel haunted. Some can just have like maybe the Vatican has more of a churchy vibe than another church just because there's so much history there. But yeah, so it's like the energy is so simple in the square that when you have the energy of the circle around it, that simplicity of circle square creates the cone triangle. So that's how you get circle square triangle. So having pure intentions and pure spirit in the most uniquely you way, pure intentions, because everyone is flawed in every way, brings that prayer so much more power than it would if you were trying to do that prayer as like a money spell or something. So Saturn, it can be something difficult, but it's facing reality, and to honestly have the opportunity to face reality is such a gift that not many have, and if you do, you don't always have it. So I'm kind of rude sometimes, but I'm very emotional, and I feel like I just have I just come off abruptly, but because I'm wearing a dress and trying to look cute, and also I don't know if it's because I'm wearing a dress that my face didn't change. I gave it a couple screen tests. I don't know, we'll see after this one. I'm not wearing makeup, so I don't know how it works. I hope it just looks like what it looks like I think it looks like. Anyway, so if you're having a hard time on your Saturn return, hard time facing reality, then one very simple, basic, simple thing that you can do for yourself to amplify whatever affirmation or prayer or whatever you do spiritually in your mind for yourself, using that has a basic shape. It doesn't have to be a perfect square, but using something basic and then creating a meditative pattern around it, which is why I think the Tibetan bowls are so healing, not only because of the frequency, but because you are creating a repetitive movement that makes you feel that frequency, so you go back to it. But you would have the most benefit facing your own reality with something that is yours, that brings you, I guess, in a prayer state to reality. Kind of like when you have a rosary and you build build a relationship with your rosary or your tarot cards. Like a brand new deck of tarot cards feels completely different than when you're using one that you've had for a long time. So, um, there's power, there's so much power, and this is another, so because of how much power such a simple shape has, there is, okay, so because there's so much power in a simple shape, in a simple letter or number, then well, okay, by power I mean the ability to stay as its own. It's not absorbing something. I guess black sort of does absorb. But then it's also like the color of a black hole. Black is absorbing all of the colors. A black hole is absorbing all of the things, but holding it in this plasmic gateway. Yeah, exactly. So, because it's so simple yet so complex, these geometric shapes, especially a square, it's the perfect gateway to create your own prayer auric triangle. And I was going to say something else, but I forgot, and I'll probably remember when I'm done recording. And you're like, oh, I should make a short about it, but I don't know. It's not good to rely on something like your lucky boxer shorts or something like that to be the thing that grounds you. But just knowing that simplicity behind just a stone and having the square, I think you can kind of infer the difference of how it can